Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. I am happy that I am able to join you here today, and I hope, pray, and trust that you are all keeping well and you're in perfectly good health. I would also like to request that you tell us where you are joining us from down in the comment section below, and while you are at it, please leave the emoji of the flag of the country that you are in, or you can also leave the emoji of the flag of the country of your origin. So ladies and gentlemen, another democratic socialist has risen yet again in the political scene in the United States of America. OMAR FATEH, a state legislator in the state of Minnesota, is seeking to run for the mayoral seat in the city of Minneapolis, and very many Americans have reacted to these new political developments, both Democratic, Republican, and neutral aside. I'd like you to join me today. Sit back, relax, and let's watch the reactions from just a few of those very many Americans.
I think at this point it's safe to say that Minneapolis is now Little Somalia. Yes, Omar Fateh is projected to win the mayoral race in that city. And its shit is insane. We're talking about defunding the police, making them into social workers. We're talking about a rise in crime that you have never seen in Minneapolis, ever. Just outright socialism. Yet best believe there will be a ruling class. There will be a ruling class. And that would be the Somalian community that rallies around this individual. See, I have to be very careful because my last video on this topic was taken down and attacked. So I got to be very careful. I got to speak in riddles. However, you cannot silence truth. This man stood in public and outright said that white men and women are a threat to this very nation. He said it. Why don't you go look at the video? So I guess if you're a patriot and you're white, you're a threat to America. Go figure. People of Minneapolis, are you really voting for that? Just like New York, are you really voting for Mamdani? I can't say the fucking guy's name, but whatever. You know who I'm talking about. These socialists who clearly hate America, but yet they're getting voted into public office. I mean, if this doesn't show you that America is the greatest country on the planet, where you can come from a war-torn shithole and become a politician and impose your toxicity on the people who created one of the greatest constitutional republics on the face of this earth, then I don't know what is.
Well, Minnesota is continuing its decline into destruction with the nomination, the Democratic nomination of Omar Fateh. He's the Democratic socialist who's running for the mayor of Minneapolis. It came down between him and the current mayor, Jacob Frey, and apparently there was some sort of irregularity with the voting machines, so they wanted to switch to paper ballots and have a quorum, and they were denied. So at the end, the people just held up their badges and they took the vote that way. During that time, Mayor Frey instructed his people to leave so there wouldn't be enough voting or enough people to vote. And instead, they went forward, and this guy, Omar Fateh, he's a state senator, he got the nomination for the Democratic Party. Now, just like Mamdani in New York, he wants, he wants everything free, right? Free housing for people, rent stabilization, free. But apparently, and he wants to have a tax on all the wealthiest people of Minneapolis. So let's see how that goes for him. If he actually wins this race in November, Minneapolis really is done.
Yeah, and before you ask, no, this is not Uzbekistan. This is Minneapolis.
magacay waa Eki Xasan waxaan aad ugu faraxsanahay maanta walaalkeen Omar Fateh inuu noqon doono next mayor of Minneapolis waa historic waaye waxaan rajaynayaa Soomaalida.
Yeah, that's socialist Somalian mayoral candidate in Minneapolis, Omar Durga whatever, who kind of looks like the Megamind version of the pirate in Captain Phillips or whatever. I don't know. Guy looks like a meme to me. But anyway, you ever stop and think why him and the Zohan in New York want to come over here, win elections, just so they can give away just a whole bunch of free shit? Well, that's so they can bring their people over here and give them a whole bunch of free shit. But keep doing what you're doing, Minneapolis, because eventually your entire state's just going to sound like this.
Minneapolis just endorsed a socialist for mayor, and nobody's talking enough about it. OMAR FATEH isn't just some moderate. He's a DSA-backed radical who's pushing for rent control, ICE bans, and government-run everything. This is exactly how socialism starts. It creeps in quietly, locally, and dangerously, just like the Trojan horse. OMAR FATEH is a Minnesota state senator, and now he's the official pick of the Democratic Party for the mayor of Minneapolis. And do you want to know the platform that he's running on? $20 minimum wage, rent freezes, and a total ICE shutdown. But don't be fooled by these nice words. This is just socialism rebranded. This is the exact same thing that's happening in New York right now with Zoran Mamdani, a so-called democratic socialist who backs eviction freezes, defunding the police, and punishing landlords. And now FATEH is doing the same thing. He's pushing climate mandates, state-run housing, and anti-ICE and police policies. This is the same agenda, but with just a different face. Cities like Portland and San Francisco may not have socialist mayors, but they sure have embraced those same radical policies that even FATEH supports, like strict rent control, open border policies, and even defunding the police. And do you want to know the result of that? Crime surges, homelessness explodes, and even businesses have to start fleeing. So I think it's time for Americans and conservatives to start waking up and fighting back towards this. Because if not now, then when? I'm Fabrizio with Fabrizio's Take. Thank you. Why'd the light turn off?
All right, listen up. This is breaking news. Omar Finch wins the first endorsement for mayor congressional candidate race for the Democratic Party. Where are the Republican GOP people running against mayor? Has anybody searched them up yet? Because this is getting crazy in the state of Minnesota and in Minneapolis. Has anybody seen the videos or what this person has spoken on Senate floor and what he's calling? Has anybody? Or are you sitting there going to be blind spotted and agree with this person? I feel very sorry for the people who want to vote for Omar Finch. Because what is going on is wrong. Nobody should be talking that way. And guess what? That's happening in our system today.
Look at this shit. So Omar FATEH is running for Minneapolis mayor to raise the minimum wage by over $4 over a few years, freeze rent, and Trump-proof the city. Man, you know who do remind me of? Matter of fact, just look at this.
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now. You like a bunch of...
All right, now, y'all know, boy, he got a... Look, boy, the dentistry is amazing. That's him. I don't care what nobody say, bro. That's him. So you see, you got Ilhan Omar and you got Omar FATEH. I mean, shouldn't you have to be... How long have you been here, sir? He got them, what they calling them eyes. Y'all know them eyes? Y'all know them eyes. They call them Japanese people call them Sanpaku. He got the Sanpaku eyes. That nigga crazy, boy. He done seen some shit. If you let this man in any type of power, bruh, come on, Minnesota. Y'all can do a lot better than this. Is there no one else to run for mayor? I literally posted on my Facebook. I said in 10 years, I'm going to be back there running for mayor. Look, man, maybe I should go back now and run for mayor. Because what the fuck is going on? Man, look, the whole country is going to shit. And this shows you that there are actively people in this country who have invaded and are trying to take it over from the inside because we are such a powerful country from the out. Like you got to infiltrate us secretly to take us over. And that's what they doing, y'all. Man, God bless America.
Look at me. I'm your mayor now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this segment whereby we do our analysis. So as you've heard, after the rise of Zohran Mamdani, who seeks to clinch the New York mayoral seat, yet another democratic socialist has risen in the political atmosphere of the United States of America and has hit both local and global airways. So ladies and gentlemen, this Minneapolis mayor aspirant goes by the name of OMAR FATEH. So OMAR FATEH is a Somalian American citizen who is serving as a state legislator in the state of Minnesota. And for a little bit of context, he was actually born on the 19th of April 1990 in the capital of Washington, D.C. to parents who emigrated from the African country of Somalia. This constitutionally makes him American by birth. So, as you've probably heard before, Somalia is being used as an SI unit for a failed state, basically a place whereby there is no stable government, there are no stable functioning systems, and the country is essentially in survival mode. So the state of Minnesota has a large ethnic Somali population, and very many Americans may be thinking that the large Somali population in the state of Minnesota may even at some point outweigh the population of people who are considered native or foundational in the United States of America. Basically, as you know, white Americans, black Americans, Native Americans, you name them. So some people may decry the fact that this may be colonialism in essence, that they would like to take over the state of Minnesota and undermine the influence of the people who founded the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, as Zohran Mamdani is, and I have mentioned many times in my previous videos, a socialist, our aspirant for the city of Minneapolis, OMAR FATEH, also holds socialist tendencies. He has promised, for instance, to increase the minimum wage to $20, and in the past he has fought for the rights of people who work in the ride-hailing industry, specifically Uber and Lyft, in order for them to have their full rights upheld. And he has promised to go further, including legalizing the distribution of fentanyl testing strips, and also to prevent the mixing up of Minneapolis Police Department and the ICE agency, which looks forward to deport undocumented immigrants from the United States of America. So he's looking to take the reigning president of the United States, Donald Trump, head on, and he has said he wants to make Minneapolis a Trump-proof city. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't get it twisted. I may not be in support of anyone here. I'm not here to take sides. I'm not here to offer a biased analysis. I'm just here to be as neutral as I possibly can be, and I'm here to be factual and as rational as possible. So many people are attacking the identity of OMAR FATEH, the fact that he is Somali, the fact that he is Muslim. As you know, we may have a crisis when it comes to identity politics in the United States. So both Zohran Mamdani and OMAR FATEH, they come from East Africa. So Zohran Mamdani comes from Uganda and OMAR FATEH comes from Somalia. So people may be saying that these Somali migrants when they come to the United States of America, they refuse to assimilate. Basically, they are all hailing from a failed state, and they take the ways of life from that failed state and bring it to the United States of America. That's basically what people in the very far right are thinking, that they're not ready to integrate, they don't respect Western values, they may be a threat to American national security, that they are a threat to the very American identity, and also they have Eastern ideologies, that is socialism or communism. And as I've said previously in my video, that socialism and communism, they're an anathema to the political and socio-economic atmosphere of the United States. So people who are considered socialists normally take a heavy battering. And as we can see in this case, that Omar Fateh is not an exception. He's taking a battering because of his quote-unquote social policies, his ethnic background, his religion, and very many other factors. So we are yet to see the new developments as they may come in, and I'll be here and I'll be available to update you. But the latest political development is that Omar Fateh has been endorsed by the Democratic Party to run against incumbent Mayor Jacob Frey. So that is the latest political development in the state of Minneapolis, in the state of Minnesota, in the city of Minneapolis. I'll be keeping tabs with what is happening, and I'll be here to update you, my dear viewers, and to listen to much more reactions that are yet to come. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been it. I was hoping to be brief today. So if you've loved the video, please consider leaving a like. And if you are new to the channel, or if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel so that the YouTube algorithm can target a wider audience. And also please leave a comment of what you've thought, and also don't forget to share the video. And if you have not loved the video, please do hit the dislike button twice to show me how much you hate me. So ladies and gentlemen, that has been it for me. I hope to see you in the next video. Cheers and peace.